Welcome to the best sports betting show. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang. It is $5 Tuesday. We got a great mix of action. Of course, we got to talk a little NFL preseason. We got a strong slate in MLB and WNBA. We're going to break it all down. Gianni's going to join us with the Steam Report. Skee Profit's going to join us to talk the Lynx and the Storm, the on-fire Lynx. Can the Storm get in their way? And we got Steve Merril to break down the Reds and the Cubs. Also going to look at the Colts and Ravens. And Dan and I are going to break down the Steelers over or under 8.5 season win totals. So, guys, today is a celebration. We're celebrating. More on that a little bit later, but we're in a good mood and we're loving life. Let's bring on Gianni and let's get into the Steam Report. Gianni, good morning. And another 7-point swing in WNBA total. I see. So how's the Steam Report looking? We busy or not?
Yeah, I've got tons of information, mostly in preseason football. Tons of moves in preseason football. We do have WNBA. We do have Major League Baseball as well. Also, if you go over to my Instagram or my TikTok, I released a premium play, a subscribers play for UFC 319. That's 2 weeks away. But while doing a production meeting for the UFC, we were going over a fight. I got some good information, confirmations that I liked. So I said, I got to bet this now. I released it yesterday on social media at plus 240. It's now down to plus 200. So getting a little respect on that play. It's still up and available. I know it's 2 weeks away, but again, sometimes got to get out ahead of that market if you feel it's going to move in that direction. But baseball, WNBA, NFL, where do you want to start?
Let's do WNBA real quick because I see we have that huge line move in the total on Dallas and New York. Other than that, a little bit of move Washington, Chicago. What are you seeing?
Yeah, I talked about New York getting steamed yesterday as soon as that line went up. That's why you're looking at 11s now. But the highest I saw in any account was like -9, -9.5. Also up to -175, believe it or not, on the over in that Dallas and New York. They just kept steaming it. Two more plays in WNBA, Phoenix -14, and then 614 under 157.5, Minnesota and Seattle. Baseball, small board in baseball so far, but again, it's very early. Baseball should be coming in throughout the day. I've been very selective. Haven't released a baseball yet. Went 4-0 yesterday. Number one over the last 7 days in baseball. We're just staying very selective. Here's what I got so far. 952 Pittsburgh, plus 135, plus 130. One that doesn't appear that way, but San Diego. San Diego got steamed at the opener of -120. Since then, you've seen the line move up and down, but I can tell you San Diego -120 was the legit side and the under in that game as well. And then 961 Minnesota plus 140, 965 New York Yankees plus 120. So we got three dogs, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Yankees, and a slight favorite on San Diego in baseball. So that's WNBA and baseball for today.
Love it. Any lines kind of surprising you? The one that kind of jumps out to me is I don't understand why Milwaukee is, hovering around -145. I mean, Atlanta loses again yesterday, 3-1. I had Milwaukee on the team total over 4.5. They didn't even need 4 runs. I'm surprised that this Atlanta Braves team is still not, plus 200 on these, especially when you got a team like Milwaukee. Milwaukee didn't even play yesterday and beat them 3-1.
Yeah, and Milwaukee was a 4% play for me.
Nice.
We were on Milwaukee yesterday fading the Braves, but money's coming in right now on the Braves. You're seeing some Atlanta money, but that could, again, we're seeing a lot of manipulation early. You got to remember, some of my even credit outs, they won't take above $500 limit until after like noon our time. So like when it comes to baseball, you got to remember they're not writing enough action on the other side. This is that time of the year where it's just slow. It's kind of the sharps versus the books. You're seeing the line reflect that. And what we're seeing also is some of these lines will trickle down and then boom, the legit move will come in a lot later. And I mean, you could see that happening where this line creeps down a little bit and then boom, Milwaukee gets steamed before first pitch. So be careful to the later line moves. those will be more legit because, again, there's no room and time to maneuver after that. So pay attention to a lot of the later stuff. But yeah, they're I don't know why the dog, they're like in the Atlanta at the dog price. You've been talking about fading Atlanta for a little while now, and they haven't been able to win a game. They've won 2 of their last 8. So again, I don't see what the attraction is with Atlanta, even as home dogs.
We've talked about the magical number of 60% of wins. Can a team win 60% of their wins? There's only one team above 60%. I don't think anybody had the Brewers at the beginning of the season as that team. So yeah, 60.7. The Dodgers are at 57.5. I'm assuming maybe a little buyback on the Brewers at some point. Maybe not now with as hot as their bats have been.
I think so. In fact, I have a future that we bet at the half for the Cubs to win the Central. And that was when at the half, at the All-Star break, I think they were tied or one was 1 game up. You know what I mean? That like they've been right there. And we laid some chalk actually that the Cubs win that division. Again, not looking all that great the way Minnesota's come out over the last week or two, but I think they're going to regress towards the mean. I mean, they're winning more games than they should based on runs scored, runs allowed. That's what's good. My guy sent me my thing yesterday. Today's Tuesday. He sent it yesterday. Here's what he actually still has as of today. Okay. He has the Chicago Cubs winning that division by 2 games. So he still has them even during this run. He has Chicago winning that division. So take that as you wish.
Let me pull up the Cubs schedule here. They got a couple more games against the Reds, St. Louis, Toronto, Pittsburgh, Milwaukee. That's 5 games against Milwaukee. That's going to be a big.
That'll decide a lot. That'll decide a lot.
Yeah, they got a bunch of games. Oh, they got a big stretch against Colorado, Atlanta, Washington, and Atlanta again. Yeah, I could see them going on a hellacious
nice run.
So yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Anything else in baseball today that we need to be aware of? I don't see much with weather or anything.
No, it's all the excitement about this weekend in NFL. We got Thursday games, Friday games, Saturday games. I'm excited too. I can't believe it. Preseason's here. Time to go.
Anything you notice with the lines at this point? Oh my gosh,
yeah,
the Colts are up to 4.5. Cincinnati 6.5.
A lot of big moves. So far, I've given out 4 premium plays for week 1 preseason. We got, I think, 2 plays on Thursday, 1 play on Friday, 1 play on Saturday. The plays are coming in. And as they do, you got to get down because these lines are moving. I'm going to give you the NFL preseason moves right now. And in these moves, I will add the premiums that I released. Can't tell you which ones are which. You decide which ones you agree with or don't. But the 4 premium plays that I did release to subscribers are on this list. Here we go. Here's NFL preseason week 1. 105 Cincinnati -1. That's no longer there. You're looking at 6 right now. I told you guys that yesterday. I did send out to my subscribers Cincinnati -1. That's called a good bet. So we have Cincinnati -1. It's now -6. I probably wouldn't piggyback that. 110 Carolina. -2, -2.5, and under 34, 33.5, and 33. That's Cleveland, Carolina. So Carolina in the under. 111 Detroit -1 and -2. 115 New York Giants at +2 all the way down to pick 'em. 123 Tennessee -2, -2.5, -3, and the under 34 in Tennessee, Tampa Bay. 114 New England -2. You're now looking at -3 there. Forgive me, Tennessee was at -2. It's now sitting at -3. So 123, Tennessee -2, 114, New England -2, 118, Minnesota -1.5 and 2, and over 36. 129, Denver going through all the key number. They went through 3. They're up to -5 or so. Interested to see if it gets to 6, but they laid the 1, they laid the 2, they laid the 3, they even laid the 4 on Denver. And then finally, New Orleans -2. And the over 35, New Orleans and the Chargers. So a lot of preseason movement shows you just how much value is in the preseason. And that's a perfect example of getting the best of it and knowing you're placing good bets. Preseason gives you that opportunity that you will not get during the regular season. Unless there's a huge injury, I will never be able to send out an NFL play for 4% to my subscribers at -1 and have it get the -6 2 days later. That's just not going to happen without like huge key injuries. But in the preseason, you will see the lines are very inefficient. And as information comes in, you'll see just how much they're willing to keep moving these lines. Like the fact it moves 2 points sometimes isn't scaring them. As a perfect example, Denver. They're laying Denver at -2. They're still laying Denver at -4 through a key number of 3. So it tells you just how much value preseason offers. I know guys will be like, dude, you bet preseason, you're a degenerate. Bro, there's some of the most advantageous positions are going to be over these next couple weeks in the NFL. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Hey, you know I make my living on props and obscure bets and things like that. We have a tennis and soccer parlay to close out today. Why? Because the numbers are there. The numbers are there. So, Gianni, it is $5 Tuesday. What do you have up for $5?
I'm trying to decide, man. I haven't put it up. I'm going to put it up right when we get off of this call because I have NFL, I have UFC, I got WNBA, and I got Major League Baseball. It's like I want to try to give them a winner for tonight because I know a lot of guys buy that $5 play. So just give me like 10 minutes and I'll narrow down which market's the strongest for you guys.
All right, check in 10 minutes. We're going to hold you to that. Thank you, Gianni. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, I'm back contenders next Tuesday.
We'll talk. We're going to talk Contender Series next Monday. We'll get into Contender Series when those lines come out. Absolutely. So, all right, let's just keep moving, guys. Hit the like button while you're watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We blasted through that 210,000 subscriber mark. 230. It's going to be our next celebration for that one. Let's bring in Skee Profit. I mean, if you can't hit the like button for Skee Profit breaking down a WNBA game, what are we doing here? Skee, how you doing?
I can't complain at all. I'm feeling good today. It's good to be back on the show with you. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at this Lynx and Storm game. I mean, we're late in the season, and the Lynx are still #1 in offense and defensive rating this season. Insane. We're 24-5. The Storm have lost 2 in a row. I noted the Storm. They are getting crushed on the boards. We had a nice play on one of their opponents to go over her rebounds, and it flew over. So we got pretty big number here, the Lynx and the Storm, but what's your breakdown on this game?
Yeah, pretty. Well, first of all, I mean, you mentioned how good the Lynx are so far this season. I believe they're 24-5. They're comfortably in first place, and they're coming off of a 53-point win. So I'm looking at this as a little bit of a letdown spot for them. They also are down Nafisa Collier. She'll be out for a couple weeks after tweaking her ankle. Without her, they're 0-2 straight up and against the spread. Or I'm sorry, not without her. After winning by 30+ this season, they're 0-2 straight up and against the spread. So I think it's a big letdown spot for them. And on the other side, I mean, you already kind of mentioned it. Seattle's off back-to-back losses at home. And just looking at the standings, I mean, they're barely hanging on to that 6th seed right now. They have the Aces and the Valkyries right behind them. So I think it's a very important game for Seattle. They're at home. They've already beaten this Minnesota team once this season when the Lynx were fully healthy. So why can't they beat them in a desperation spot without the Lynx best player? So I'm looking towards their side, you know. And as far as the total is concerned, I think I heard Gianni say under. I can understand it. I mean, the Storm's identity all season long has been defense more than offense. If you look at the Storm off of a loss so far this season, opponents' team totals are 9-3 to the under. If you look at the Storm off back-to-back losses since the beginning of last season, opponents' team totals are 6-0 to the under off back-to-back losses. They just respond playing good defense. And the Lynx, like I said, coming off that huge win, they shot, I think, above 60% from 3. I'm looking for a lot of regression in that regard. So if you put them together, that means Lynx team total under. So either Storm or under, or you can put them together and you got a Lynx team total under. That's the way I'm looking at this game.
Nice. Any other WNBA teams you got your eye on? I've had a good read on the Sky and the Fever with some of their player props. I mean, the Sky have been as predictable as you can get without Angel Reese in the lineup. Just take their team total under. They've been a disaster. So, any teams that you've been keeping your eye on, you've been having success with?
Not really locked on a specific team. I'll say I think New York is going to trend in the right direction. After they had their team meeting, they had a couple losses after that, but I like what I saw from them in the last game. I think they'll get it together and start to win and cover some games. As far as Chicago, they're getting a little healthier. Everybody except for Angel Reese is playing, and they did just fire their coach. So, across all sports, when teams fire their coach, we see a little bit of a boost in the near future. So I would look maybe for that from them. I think Phoenix they've been playing like their schedule has been really tough. And because of it, they've looked so bad. But in the near future, their schedule gets a lot easier. So I think you can buy low on the Mercury right now. In general, I mean, those are some things that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I mean, I keep trying to figure out a way to. They just keep laying these huge numbers on the Connecticut Sun, and they're so bad, Skee. I mean, they're really bad. But it's just like, man, can you lay 15 every single night against them, and then the money line is blown way out of proportion? So I've had my eye on them. I just can't figure out a way to fade them.
Well, the Sun, they've gotten better. They started off the season absolutely pathetic. But they started to get some chemistry and some rhythm heading into the All-Star break. And since, they've still looked okay. You get Marina Mabry back in the lineup. That's a lot more offense.
Okay.
It's not too many times that I'm the way they're playing right now, at least, that I'm running to the window to, lay 15 against them. But I do think the Mercury are desperate for a really good game. And I like what I saw, and I believe it was the second half of their last game. So I think they'll hit the switch.
All right. Torrance says Andy looks like Jimmy Kimmel. No, Jimmy Kimmel looks like me. No, they look like me. I'm the original. They copied me. So Jimmy Kimmel and our guy Skee. Oh, you guys got jokes today. Skee, is anything I was going to ask you about NBA? Anything you got your eye on, or anything that you've been surprised by, or any off-season moves? It's kind of taking you by surprise. Any thoughts on NBA at this point?
Honestly, nothing big has happened in the past week or two, and I haven't really been too focused on the NBA. I've been looking more at tennis, WNBA, doing my football research. Last season, at college football research too. NFL and college football, I was 138 and 109, 55.9%, about like plus 23 units. So I'm just really trying to focus on getting prepared for football, and then after that, I'll deep dive into the NBA.
Love it. What you finding in football? Anything surprise you?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Last year I did a process for the first time, like preparing early and going through every team before I really make a decision, and I had a lot of success. My futures were 5-1. So next Tuesday, I'll have some stuff I can share with you for NFL. I haven't finished yet. I think I need like 8 more teams. So.
Okay, all right. A tease for next week. We're going to get Skee Profit's NFL thoughts. Skee, it's $5 Tuesday. What do you have up for everyone?
Yeah, I do have a best bet in the association. I do have a trend to back it as well. It's hit, I believe, 75% since 2011. So it's up and available on my page. And yeah, just getting ready for football. So if you want to rock with me, you know where to find it. I'll have a college football play up in the next few days. And then, like I said, next week, I have some good NFL for you guys. So. Appreciate you having me, Andy, and I'll see you guys next week.
Love it. Skee Profit, everyone. Great breakdown in WNBA. We mentioned it is $5 Tuesday. Every capper can put a play up for just $5. Perfect time to try someone new. Stack your card, grab a play from WNBA, from MLB, even UFC. My particular play is in WNBA. I'm seeing the sport really well. Only had 2 plays last week, and we hit both of them. So got a WNBA play with. I was so excited. I put it up last night. So I didn't want to wait for today. So it's just $5. You can get Skee's play, Gianni's play, Steve Merrill's play. Grab as many as you want, but again, we always say this on Tuesday, bet responsibly. We don't want to have a huge chunk of our bankroll just in one night. So great way to experiment with some new cappers, so take advantage of $5 Tuesday. All right, let's go all around the world. Let's get some free plays here. We're going to start with this Brewers and Braves. This is on the free picks page. We got to go back to the Brewers. Brewers won 4 straight, 7 out of 8, 41 runs the last 4 games. They didn't even play great. Last night, they won. Braves are 3-9 the last 12s. And Peralta's pitching for the Brewers. He had a bad outing last time, so we expect a nice regression back positive to the mean. So Brewers money line, still reasonable price. FedEx St. Jude PGA playoff starts this week. In fact, tee time just went up with myself and Nick Borman breaking down the first round of the golf playoffs. Really good betting opportunities. Let's go to Matthew Fitzpatrick to finish top 20, including ties. 5 top 20 finishes in a row, 4 top 10s in a row, second best total strokes gained in the field the last 3 months. He is catching fire at the exact right time. This is one of those guys that comes out of nowhere and wins the entire thing. So Matthew Fitzpatrick, just to get in the top 20, only minus 125. And this is a short field. There's only 70 guys in it. And we mentioned some of these WNBA props. Let's do Sophie Cunningham over 8.5 points. She's gone over in 8 out of the last 10. She doesn't take a lot of shots, but she hits a lot of them. Over 55% from the field in 8 out of the last 10 games. And the last 7 games, the Sparks are 9th worst in defensive rating. So Sophie Cunningham has been really good from behind the three-point line, and she makes her free throws. So still getting this 8.5, hit 80% in the last 10 games. Those are your free plays. All right, let's bring on Steve Merrill. We got to talk a little MLB and NFL preseason. Steve, happy $5 Tuesday. How are you?
Yes, Andy. Happy $5 Tuesday.
There it is. There it is. Love it.
It's the best Tuesday of the week every week. It's $5 Tuesday.
Yes. I want to talk about this Cubs team. We talked about them earlier, how they're a few games behind Milwaukee, but Gianni likes them to win the division. They've got a really, really nice schedule coming up. They're in this series with the Reds. Reds squeak out a 3-2 winner yesterday. What's your breakdown on this game? We looking at another low-scoring one, or are you looking at the side?
You know, if we weren't sports handicappers, we'd be weathermen probably, right? Because you hit like 52, 53% in sports, you make money. You hit 53% of the weather forecast, you get to stay on the air for decades. You could be a weatherman with Chicago Cub home games. The reason I bring that up is all you have to do is look at the total. When you see 10s and 11s, you know which way the wind is blowing at Wrigley. When you see an opening line of 8 that's now down to 7.5, juice to the under, well, you kind of know which way the wind is probably blowing tonight. And yes, it is blowing in. And I do like the under in this game, not only for that reason, but some other reasons as well. We'll dig a little bit here into the pitching matchup in a moment. As you know, I always talk about offensive momentum for both teams. I think, starting pitching still makes up the large majority of how lines are set nowadays in baseball, even though these guys only go about half a game. So always like to look at how these teams are hitting the ball recently. You mentioned the game yesterday, fairly low scoring as well. So I don't think either team is going to crush the ball, especially with the wind blowing in tonight on Tuesday in Wrigley. This game, by the way, 8:05 Eastern start. And the Cubs have had a great season. They've had one of the best run differentials all year in baseball. They've been the best team probably in the National League throughout the season. 3-2 loss yesterday. They lost, of course, 4-3 to the slumping Orioles last Saturday. So they've dropped 2 out of 3. They have now put up 3 runs or less in 3 of their last 4 games. Reds, meanwhile, have been alternating wins and losses for the past week. They have also scored 3 runs or less now in 3 straight games. So as I mentioned, offensive momentum, nothing special for either team. Wind blowing in. And we have 2 pitchers that are very capable on the mound tonight, especially Little. For Zach Little for the Reds is the guy I want to talk about a little bit here. This is a guy that's got a 3.6 ERA for the season, but he's been even better over his last 7 starts. You go back to mid-June, he has a 2.9 ERA his last 7 outings. 2 decent pitchers on the mound, 2 overall decent teams, and 2 offenses that don't look like they're in good current form. I agree with the sharp money. It's hit this line from 8, now down to 7.5, under 15. But I still like the under here. 7, of course, is the key number in baseball. So as long as you're getting 7.5 or more, they'll still think there's some undervalue with the Wrigley game tonight.
Yeah. The wind in Wrigley is just, it's night and day different. It doesn't even have to be blowing that hard. Like 10, 15 miles an hour doesn't sound like a lot. And yeah, it literally makes a 2 or 3 run difference in the line. It's crazy how that works. I was going to ask you about the Colts and the Ravens, my Indianapolis Colts. I don't know what you do with this one because the line is, we missed it. It opened up pretty close to pick 'em or -1. Now it's up to 4.5. Somebody that lives in Indianapolis, I can tell you that these quarterbacks are going to play like they're legit trying to figure out who's going to be the starter. This is not Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones locked in. So I'm guessing that's what they're seeing here in this game. What's your take on the Ravens and the Colts up to -4 over under 36?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, if you could have gotten the Ravens as a dog, let alone a 4.5-point dog, you could have made a small fortune. Harbaugh, what was it, 17 straight wins
up until
insane. A year or so?
It was crazy. It was the best bet in all of sports.
It was. He never lost. But if you look, he's been below 500 against the spread the last couple of preseasons. Obviously, the betting market's caught on to that, and he hasn't made the effort to win like he used to on top of that. Baltimore opened briefly as a 1-point home favorite in this game. This game is in Baltimore. Yeah, Indianapolis, 4.5-point favorite now. It's not in Indianapolis. It's in Baltimore Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern. First game on the board for this full week 1 of the NFL preseason. But yeah, the markets move on information in the preseason. Something that's interesting, Andy, about these two teams is they've had joint practices, a couple scrimmages already. So they know each other fairly well. I find that interesting. And some of the coaches have said that the scrimmages have been even more important than this game will be. At least that's how the Ravens feel. So that's another reason we've seen this line move heavy to Indianapolis. The quarterback rotations aren't officially out yet. But once again, both Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, as you said, are fighting for a spot, two NFL starters. And whenever you see that, it catches your attention, not just because you're going to have decent quarterbacks for probably the whole first half, but also because you normally keep your starters in longer, especially the offensive line, because first of all, you want to protect these guys. And second of all, you want to see them both play with the starters to give them an apples-to-apples comparison. So there's no question that's the reason we've seen the line move so heavy for the Colts. Baltimore obviously has no quarterback competition whatsoever. Lamar Jackson will not play, not a surprise. And, we have seen Harbaugh make an effort in the past, but we haven't seen that much in recent years. Cooper Rush, though, is on the roster now. We got some experience there at quarterback, but I think they're going to want to look at the rookies and the youngsters more. So, maybe an in-game situation, if it's close early, you come in with the Colts. At halftime, maybe you come in with the Colts even, because I think the Ravens, even the second half of the backups in there, are going to be the weaker quarterback rotation. We do not have any team totals yet. This is a couple days before the game. But obviously, you could also look at the Colts over team total would make some sense. This is a fairly hefty total for a Week 1 NFL preseason game. I gave you the over last week here on the show, over 33 in the Hall of Fame game. It got there, but that's because the Chargers did all the heavy lifting. It was 34-7. This total is priced at 36. It's opened a bit. It opened at 35. It's been bumped up a bit to 36. If you just do some quick math, that would make it 20-16, the projected final. So you're talking about a Colts team total likely in the 20-point range. So Colts team total over 20 maybe makes some sense here with the quarterback rotation. First half over. But I'll pause on both of those just due to the fact these teams have scrimmaged. They probably have been pretty vanilla so far this week, and both teams have had a feel for each other. So it's a tough call here. But, yes, sharp money is definitely on the Colts. That looks like the preferred side in this game.
I haven't seen too many videos of training camp fights. Remember, they used to have.
These guys are so soft nowadays, Andy. They don't even make an effort to fight in training camp anymore.
Well, it
different generation.
It was always stupid. It was like guys literally fighting for roster spots. It's like, why are you fighting? Let's show the coaches we can't control our emotions even in preseason. I'm sure they'll love that. And then it's like, no, passion. They're just passionate. It's like, really? In training camp? But yeah, those videos, I haven't seen any this season. So
it's usually a couple 300-pounders grabbing each other by the face mask and ripping. And then the little scatbacks get a little shot in there and they get out real quick. So they are fun to watch. But a lot of it's also not only they're fighting for spots, but they're out there 2-a-days. They probably don't even do 2-a-days anymore. But, the heat, the humidity.
Oh, it's so hot.
It's pretty brutal. You got a lot of pads and helmets on, obviously, for those that play football. It's not the most pleasant sport in July and August to be outdoors.
Oh, Titan says there was a fight yesterday at Pat's camp. There we go. There we go. Take the over. Catch the over half of a fight at training camp video. So I'll have to look that up. All right, Steve, it's $5 Tuesday. What do you have up for everyone?
Yeah, we always have fun with $5 Tuesday, but seriously, it's a great, fantastic value because you're getting an instant 80% off my top play tonight for Tuesday Major League Baseball. Normally, it is $25 for my top play each night, but because it's $5 Tuesday, you get that instant 80% discount. No promo code needed. Now, while $5 Tuesday is a great deal, how about the rest of August for free? That's an even better deal. How about $0 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for the rest of August? That's what you get right now when you buy the September-October all-sports combo. You get those 2 months, and boy, what a great 2 months to get. You're going to get college and pro football, rest of Major League Baseball, and also the start of basketball with September and October. And best of all, you get the rest of August free, so don't delay. The sooner you get on board, the more days you get for free in August, and there is no promo code needed. Check it out on my page, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. And while you're there, check out the bonus daily free play. My last cut for my best bet card goes up as a bonus free opinion every day with analysis. Check out the free play. Check out the $5 Tuesday best bet. But most importantly, check out that fantastic rest of August free special, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, and get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM.
Awesome. Love it, Steve. Thanks so much for joining us. Can't wait to do it again next week on $5 Tuesday. So, yeah, Steve beat me to it. The special he's talking about, it's good for any handicapper. You get rest of August for free. If you get September and October, it's a smoking deal. Only $598. It's 3 full months of every sport. We got NFL, college football, MLB, UFC, WNBA. For me, golf, Formula One, NASCAR, every single play, just $6.50. Sooner you jump on board, more value you unlock. So it takes you all the way through Halloween. Don't have to worry about getting daily plays. Just lock in 3 months or about 2.5 months at this point. So, all right, Dan, let's talk Steelers here, breaking down Aaron Rodgers' next team. Does this really come down to, do you believe in Aaron Rodgers? Is it literally that simple?
So yes and no, because here's the thing: is the Steelers have just routinely, we got 8.5 is basically the market number on their season win total, and they had 10 wins, 9 wins, 9 wins, 12 wins. So the last time they didn't go over this was 2019. So on its face, you say, what do we know about Mike Tomlin? He goes over 500 every single year. That's essentially the number that they're putting it right around. Does he go over 500? Well, he does every year. However, for me, Andy, is it as simple as, hey, here's what Aaron Rodgers did? Here's the thing with the Steelers. They routinely go over this number, but every damn year they end up making the playoffs. They just lose in the wild card round. And it's
Yes.
rinse, wash, repeat. And so much of the Steelers' success is because they have one of the best defensive units in the league. But one, Aaron Rodgers had a defense that was one of the best in the league as well with the New York Jets. What did he do there? The thing for me is you're trying to dispel what has been what the Steelers have done for the past half a decade plus, and that's make the playoffs, lose early in the playoffs. Outside of the Super Bowl run, what playoff success have you seen from Aaron Rodgers? You've seen him choke at home. You've seen him choke on the road. So for me, Andy, when you're trying to undo a losing culture, a winning yet ultimately losing culture, probably the Grim Reaper, who all he does is get head coaches fired, isn't the guy you want to bring in to resurrect your franchise. I'm done with the Aaron Rodgers song and dance. So does it all matter about Aaron Rodgers? Sure, it might, but I think this is the year that Tomlin finally goes under 500. I think the Grim Reaper is coming for Tomlin. Fans are already sick of him, and now they're going to have an out because Aaron Rodgers is going to botch this situation up. I think they go under this season win total. I don't think they make the playoffs, and I would take Mike Tomlin if you can find a prop out there. I know BetOnline offers it all the time. I wouldn't say first head coach fired because they probably won't fire him in season, but if there's a prop out there, will Mike Tomlin be fired this season? I'm hammering the yes. I think this is the year that the Grim Reaper finally comes. I'm very bearish here on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, they got the job done with Watt. That's excellent. They should still have a solid defense, but it doesn't matter. You know, I like the offseason addition. Sure, could Aaron Rodgers be able to get the ball down the field to DK Metcalf? Maybe. But all I know is year after year, we keep doing this dance with Aaron Rodgers when the best years are solely behind him, Andy. I'm pretty strong towards the under on this one. What do you think about the Steelers?
All right, well, let's do the schedule, and then I have the PFF rankings, which just sums up what Pittsburgh has been for like their entire. Well, I'll just go through it. They have the number 1 ranked defensive line, 13th ranked linebackers, 16th secondary. On offense, 21st offensive line, 29th wide receivers, and 26th running back. All defense, can't upgrade the offense. Haven't been able to do that for 20 years. At Jets, Seahawks, at Patriots, Vikings is an overseas game. Then a bye. You know, I hate the early bye. They do have Browns at Bengals, Packers, Colts at Chargers, Bengals at Bears, Bills at Ravens, Dolphins at Lions, at Browns, Ravens. I think that schedule gets tough. Here's what I don't like about their schedule. It's going to take Rodgers in this offense a few games to click, and that's when they have to get their wins. They need to get their wins early. They need Jets. They need Seahawks. They need Patriots. I mean, you got the Ravens twice towards the end of the season. You got at Lions on their home turf. You got Bills. This is an easy under for me. Aaron Rodgers is 42. He's 42 years old. What are we doing here? Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that this was their plan going into the season was let's get Aaron Rodgers.
Dude, oil and water is going to be Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers' personalities. You know what I mean? Like, Tomlin is a coach guy, but Aaron Rodgers is the ultimate my shit don't stink kind of player. And that doesn't vibe with what Mike Tomlin looks to go and do. So, yeah,
those press conferences
I like this.
are going to be amazing.
Yo, no, they'll be electric.
Going to be amazing. Like
they'll be electric.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin is going to come out and say, it starts with the coaching staff. It falls on me. I got to get these players, ready to go. And Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, yeah, it falls on the coaching staff. They got to get us ready to go. Like,
it's on him.
No responsibility whatsoever. So,
like, I would look towards Aaron Rodgers like under props. I think the defense is going to be just fine. But also, you get rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick, you bring in Jalen Ramsey. And again, Jalen Ramsey is another guy who on reputation alone, he keeps getting all of these accolades and all these loves. Like, what his defenses that he has been on, sure, he's just a cornerback. What have they won? Not a much, Andy. So, I think this number is kind of alluding to the fact that the bottom's finally falling out on the 500 or better every year for Tomlin, and I think this is finally the year the fans get to scapegoat him.
Love it. Love the hot takes on Tomlin getting
fired.
Man. So.
Our man Eric Garcia not happy with the hot take. Last hurrah for Aaron. Unfortunately, EG, I think the last hurrah might have happened like 7 years ago. Something like that. When Dez caught it. Dez caught it.
Oh, all right. Great breakdown. Yeah, Dan and I are easy under on the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, quick reminder, my $5 play is WNBA prop. We went 2-0 on those last week, so looking forward to making that 3-0. Go grab that $5 play. It's a beautiful line, a beautiful number. I had that thing sniffed out yesterday, so I put it up last night. So take advantage of my WNBA $5 play. I am off tomorrow. Kelly is going to be hosting, and like I said, we're celebrating today. Tomorrow's going to be a tough one for me. I'm always open and honest with you guys. We're going to say goodbye to our dog tomorrow, so I'm going to take the day off, spend it with him. It's been 15 amazing years, so if you guys could send some positive vibes my way in the comment section, I could surely use it. So, but we're going to enjoy the day. Going to get out, get some fresh air. So